Protect us all.
Protect us all.
Protect us all. Yeah. Late night knock and the sirens glow. Mama's crying while the cold winds blow. Papers in their hands saying sign right here, but the children hold tight when the heroes appear. Boots hit the pavement, truth in his eyes. The CPS Punisher hears every lie. Not for the money, not for the fame. He's standing for the families calling his name. And beside him rides Queen Tiff strong, voice like thunder when the system's wrong. Shield for the broken, hope for the weak, fighting for the parents too scared to speak. No revenge burning in their hearts tonight, just love for the children and the will to fight, trying to keep every family whole. That's the fire living deep in their souls. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff by his side, standing for the families they tried to divide, holding the line so the children stay safe, never backing down, never losing faith. They'll fight together through the storm and pain, till families don't live in fear again. Voices rising loud across the nation's home. Protect our children, protect us all. Protect us all. Yeah. Courtroom shadows and the whisper spread, stories twisted till the truth seems dead. But the Punisher walks through the fear and smoke, giving strength to the people the system broke. Queen Tiff speaking with the warrior's flame, calling every injustice out by name. She says children need love, not endless control. You can't heal a family by breaking its soul. Neighbors gather raising signs up high, tears in their eyes but they won't hide. Every mother, every father knows love is the seed that a family grows. No revenge burning in their hearts tonight, just hope for tomorrow and the courage to fight, trying to keep every family whole. That's the fire living deep in their souls. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff by his side, standing for the families they tried to divide, holding the line so the children stay safe, never backing down, never losing faith. They'll fight together through the storm and pain, till families don't live in fear again. Voices rising loud across the nation's home. Protect our children, protect us all. Protect us all. One day the fear won't haunt these streets. One day the crying finally sleeps. One day the children all come home and know family stands alone. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff standing tall, fighting for the families, fighting for them all. Not for vengeance, not for hate, but to keep love stronger than the state. And they'll keep marching till the whole world says children belong with the families. Hearts unbroken, voices unchained, till every child is safe again.
Tiff and the Punisher.
This is Tiff from Virginia, the Punisher from Maine, and the angry citizen. You're listening to Tiff and the Punisher with
let the records show. The record's been rigged. No jury, no rights, just a gavel and a threat. But I didn't walk in here to lose.
They wrote the ending before I walked in. Stamped my name on a file I never signed. Whispered lies in a courtroom whisper, and call that justice, call that best for the child. Judge won't look up, CPS smirks. Attorney acting like my voice don't work. They expect silence, fear and shame, but I showed up knowing my own name. You can block my questions, strike my plea, but you can't unlearn what I can see. I'm not the broken one in this room, I'm the one who finally knows the truth. They thought I'd break, thought I'd bow, thought the system owned me now, but I'm the storm they didn't plan. I'll burn this courtroom where I stand. You can take my voice, but not my truth. I rise for every stolen youth. I'm not the victim they assumed I am. The rebellion in the courtroom. Case plan written like a prison cell. Reunification, just another spell. Check the box, jump the hoop. Watch them change the rules just to keep you in the loop. So I studied law like I studied pain. Turned every tear into legal flame. Showed up with statutes, receipts, and facts. Now they panic every time I speak on the record back. You can seal the file, gag my speech, but truth don't stop where gavels reach. I'm the fire under every stone. I'm the voice you can't postpone. They thought I'd break, thought I'd bow, thought the system owned me now, but I'm the storm they didn't plan. I'll burn this courtroom where I stand. You can take my voice, but not my truth. I rise for every stolen youth. I'm not the victim they assumed I am. The rebellion in the courtroom. You took my kids, but not my fight. You stole the day, but not the night. I forged my pain into a blade and cut the chains your system made. You don't scare me, and you never will, 'cause you can't kill a soul you didn't build. Objection overruled. Not this time. Motion denied. Not this life. For the record's corrupt. Alright, we already did. They thought I'd break, thought I'd bow, thought the system owned me now, but I'm the storm they didn't plan. I'll burn this courtroom where I stand. You can take my voice, but not my truth. I rise for every stolen youth. I'm not the victim they assumed I am. The rebellion in the courtroom. I am the reckoning they knew was coming soon. I am the evidence they can't remove. Your courtroom isn't justice, it's a crime scene.
Attention please. The time is now 8:30 p.m. And inpatient visiting hours will be ending in a half an hour
Half
at
an
9
hour.
p.m.
What's up,
Again,
Tiff?
the time is now 8:30
Every
p.m.
single move I've
And
made
inpatient
tonight on this
visiting hours
podcast to
will
try
be
to make
ending
this
in
work,
half an hour
like this,
at 9
it's been
p.m.
completely quiet. And now, because I want to do this, they're going to yell at this. So clearly, I'm at the hospital right now. But you know what? What a show last night was, right?
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's good. And I mean, we're riding off of his coattail right now with some numbers, it looks like. But hey, what the hell? If it works, it works, right? As long as we get the message out about what this war is we're fighting. And I think we got the Garza seal of approval from now on. So, yeah, no, that was a good show. It was a lot of good information. I feel bad that we cut Daniel off his night. So we need to make sure we try to get him back here for tomorrow night. Because tonight, you know, is Becca Tuesdays, where she's going to teach us some stuff. We'll do some learning with Becca. But yeah, I'm going to pull her in here, Tiff, unless you got something else to say real quick.
The only thing I want to say is I want Becca to teach people how to do a timeline.
Oh, yeah, that was seemed to be Garza's number one numero uno thing that he said really saved the status of him and his kids was that timeline. And you know what? I never thought of it the way that he made it be was that if someone does accuse you of something, then you do have the remedy to prove that that wasn't true. That
Right.
your timeline that you have doesn't coordinate with what these people are saying, the facts. I never even thought of it in that way. You know, like if you were in Aspen, Colorado skiing one weekend and they said that you were harassing them in Boca Raton, Florida, then you could be like, no, clearly I was in Aspen. So to have a timeline like that, which I know of an app that does that too for you. You know, if you put your documents in, it will create a nice timeline for you. It's a pretty cool app. It's called the CPS Punisher. You can see it at the CPS Punisher, thecpspunisher.com. But I've got to get in this elevator, and I'm going to go up and see my mother real quick. I'm going to bring Beck in, and I'll be back with you guys as soon as I'm done with her.
Hi.
So Becca,
What? What's up?
I can do a timeline, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing about me that's different from you. You can articulate it better than me, right? Like you can be like, you got to do this, 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 and this. And with me, I have my timeline, right? I keep a timeline, but I don't articulate it that well. So I want you, because you can articulate better than me on timeline.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Anyways, so about timelines, and also I haven't, it's not on Darren's website, but should be on mine. If you go to the fine print, define the dash fine dash print.org, I also have like a whole list of like there's like a page, like a 12-step process of creating a timeline. So
Can you send that to me so I can join?
yeah.
Thank you.
So I do have that as well the app, But I did want to get on and talk tonight about, I tried to say something last night, but I think Darren was too involved with Robert Garza, um, that whole issue. So which I don't know why Robert Garza would even say that he was coming on, considering he has his own thing that he does on Monday nights at like 6 p.m. And when I got off live last night, he was still on. Like his thing was still on.
Well, that's because he's either an hour behind us. He's an hour behind us.
Yeah, he's in Central.
So his time got fucked up, right?
Oops.
Because our time is different from his time.
Well, and he was still on even when like I got off the show last night and he was still on, like doing his thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, but it said it started at like 6 and he's in Central, so that would have meant it started at 7. But even then, he still wouldn't even had time to get, you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't even had
Well,
time to get on.
he said right after our podcast was his thing. So, but anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but anyways, other than Robert Garza. Oh, there's Darren. He's back. But I did want to say something about the like okay, so yesterday I got to researching and I was looking at my state laws. Well, when I was looking at my state laws, I came across what is called a family and children it's a it's a like a program, right? That because it was listed under one of the statutes. It's a Ohio Family Children First Cabinet Council. Okay. So I got to looking at that, and did you know that it is chaired by the governor? Okay. The its members include heads of major state agencies. So the Department of Children and Youth, Job and Family Services, Medicaid, Health, Department of Health, Behavioral Health, Developmental Disabilities, Youth Services, Rehabilitation and Correction, Aging, Budget Management, and Education and workforce in Ohioans with disabilities. So I'm like, okay, well, I went into looking at my juvenile court judge and tell me why he sits on that board. Yeah, he sits on that board.
That's a conflict.
You know, I said the exact same thing. And I was like, okay, so I started looking into what all he does sit on, like what organizations he's a member of. He sits on the Miami County Family and Children First Council. He's a statutory member because it's mandated that he's a member. It's mandated he's a member. Okay, under Ohio law, the presiding judge of the juvenile court is a statutory member of every county Family and Children First Council. So that means he sits as part of the multi-agency body that includes representatives from Children's Services, Job and Family Services, Public Health, the Mental Health, the School District, County Commissioners, Early Intervention, Head Start, Youth Services, Family Representatives, Council. It exists because of the law, because the law says it's okay. And I'm like, okay. Well, that's not that like you said, conflict of interest. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, and then he sits on the Ohio Association of Juvenile Court Judges, Association of Probate Court Judges, National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges, Ohio State Bar Association, Miami County Bar Association, and he was a member of the Magistrates Association and the Domestic Relations Judge, and Ohio Supreme Court Mediation Training, and Title 4E Court Program.
Okay, so that, oh, dude, he like wears a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Wow, I think you need to look up Virginia's for me because that's crazy, crazy.
Yep. It says that court grant administration, his official biography states that during his tenure, the court has secured more than $1 million in state grants, including federal funding from the Ohio Supreme Court of Courtroom Technology for courtroom technology. His court interactions with multiple state grant programs beyond Title 4E. He is, as a juvenile court judge, he regularly works with statutory frameworks, including Ohio Title 4E or Juvenile Court Program.
How many kids has he put in foster care?
Well, you
I mean,
know.
you might not be able to find that, but the Title 4E is
Mhm.
foster care.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and every juvenile court judge, like every juvenile court, they all get like their administrative like fees or whatever. That's all brought in from the Title 4 funding. And I'm sitting here like
And how much money did he pull in through grants?
1 million.
I'm gonna go back on mute. Just think about that.
Mhm. Yeah, $1 million in grants. And I'm sitting here like, okay. I'm like, but people don't even realize that they even have these count like everybody constantly says to me, oh well, like I don't understand how they're doing this. I don't understand how it's legal. They're not stealing your kids illegally. They're doing it legally. And they are doing it because the law says they can. And that's the problem. The law needs to change. Not the
Like, actually, we have to stop saying the law because a statute and a code and a rule and a
is
regulation and an
not law.
ordinance is not law. So
Yeah.
using codes and statutes. I'm guilty of the same thing. So don't. I got to do it myself too, right? You go to practice what you preach. I'm like, well, the law says. I'm like, that's what the statute says.
That's what the statute says. Yes, that's what the statute does say. But the statute gives them these powers. So the federal government has given every state is sovereign. So with every state being sovereign, they all have their own things that they are allowed to essentially designate the powers for. Families is one of them because the federal government doesn't want to be in the midst of that. They don't want to be in the workings of that. Well, I think that they've given too much power to the states, obviously, because the federal government's like, we're not going to touch this. But realistically,
They are touching it though.
I noticed it's starting to come around more now.
Well, here's how they're touching it. Not so much with the lawsuits, but if the federal government is giving the states the money to run these programs, you got your fucking hands in the pot too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, because that's where they get their reimbursement checks from.
Right. Wouldn't it
It's
be
fine.
nice if we could go to the grocery store, write a check for $1,000 for groceries and submit it to the federal government and they would reimburse us?
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing with our kids. They're going to
Yeah.
the fucking schools, the daycares, the playgrounds. They're they're picking up kids like they're at a fucking meat market. And then they're saying, "Oh, this child needs clothes. This is a baby, so we need formula. We need a crib. We need baby clothes. We need diapers, wipes, everything that a baby needs." But we can't, as citizens, get the same help.
No, it's just like the Haitians and all them people who come here, and they get handed businesses. And it's like, wait a minute here. Like, we're all citizens and we're all struggling to, you know what I mean? Like, people want to own a business and all they can't because they don't have the money for it. But yet, here they just hand these people thousands upon thousands of dollars and say, here you go. You can have this for free.
Well, let me tell you, I'm not going to say where I've worked. I'm not going to say the place I worked, but where I worked with, she was like from a whole other country. So we're talking one day and she tells me, I don't need this job. But she had an accent. So you had to really listen. Your government pays me to live here. I said, what? She said, oh yeah. They pay foreigners to live in this country.
Yeah, that's pure craziness. But yet, their own people can't even live. We have homeless people everywhere. We have people that are starving. Like, literally, they can't afford food for their kids to even eat. I mean, food stamps, that's hilarious. I mean, my husband, he went back to work, and when he went back to work, like, we used to get, a significant amount because we had 5 kids. And, now $200 for 5 people, that's not a lot of money. I mean, that's like, and majority of the time, he literally works to buy food. Like, that's what it feels like. $35 an hour broke.
Yeah, oh, I believe that.
Like, it's like, wait a minute here. Like, we can't even get by, and we're skimming just to get by.
Well, I think that's 90% of American people. Hell, I'm going to say 99%, but because the 1% that I'm leaving out, they're wealthy. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Um, that's 99% of the people in this country right now. I don't care if you work 2 and 3 jobs. If you're rent around here is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
$2,400 a month. That doesn't count utilities. That doesn't count your cell phone bill. That doesn't count food. That doesn't count daycare. No.
I mean, I can remember, hell, 15 years ago when I was paying like $450 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. I pay $1,000 a month now. But I mean, our minimum wage is only like $10 an hour, $11 an hour. So, I mean, our minimum wage is shit.
Well, let me tell you why our shit is so high. I'm only 60 miles from DC. So we have people from DC and Northern Virginia moving up here
Mm-hmm.
and commuting
Yep.
because those houses down there are a million plus.
Jesus.
So it would be worth the travel, right? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. Like what is really going on?
Yeah. And these
That
landlords.
went up too, but go ahead.
Yeah, and these landlords, like the landlords, they literally are like, "Oh, well, we're gonna up your rent," and like per every year, and I'm like, "Wait a minute here, like this is getting to be ridiculous." Like, you know, okay, when I was on, because like I was on Section 8 for a while, well, I ended up getting kicked off Section 8 because they said, "Well, Dave makes too much money." Okay, cool, that's fine, no big deal. Get kicked off Section 8, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna up your rent, mind you," before they freaking so I had a civil action, court action, because I appealed it. Well, they upped my rent. They back paid my landlord, Section 8, upped my rent. Even though there was a court ordered stay in place, they increased my rent by $100 a month. And then guess who was the one that had to actually pay that rent when they yep, when the case was over. It was like, well, wait. But then here's the kicker. The Section 8 paid my because like they didn't pay for like 6 months. Well, they were court ordered to catch back up. Well, I had already paid the landlord. Like I had been making payments and like on some of it, and I had paid it the rest of it in full. But I had so like the landlord was pissed because he had to back pay me. He had to pay me back all that money that I had because I'm like, no, I'm like they could you about to double dip? I think not. I'm like, A, that's against the law, and B, I could use that money. So, I'm like, okay, cool. So but they ended up increasing it when they weren't even allowed to increase it because it was on a court ordered stay. And then guess what? When everything was said and done, because I lost because they gave the opposing party summary judgment, but also had a trial court scheduled. Also had a trial date scheduled. Does that make any sense? Like, how are you going to grant them summary judgment, but yet there is conflicts of facts, and you scheduled a trial date and scheduled discovery date cutoff or the cutoff lines for discovery, and discovery never happened. They literally just was like summary judgment for, and I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Like this can't be right. Then sent it to the appeals court. 30-day. We had that big old snowstorm. Everything was closed down. Couldn't get it out. Couldn't get my freaking thing out in time. The appeals court would not. They were like, nope, we don't have jurisdiction. And I'm like, look. I mean, I fought it on everything I possibly could because technically they put it out, and I even had contradictory evidence. I had evidence that the clerk had put it in the. It said that on the docket that it was put in the mail on the 23rd, right? It wasn't post dated for the 24th. So technically, the day that the 3 days, okay, so you go from that day, 30 days from that day was the day that I filed the appeal. They said it wasn't timely. And I provided them evidence. And they even said in their opinion before that when they denied it, they were like, well, had it been the next day, then we could consider it. But then when I use that argument, they're like, no, we can't. What are you talking about? No, how can that be? Like, how are you going to tell me you could? But then when I tell you that and I give you proof, because they don't want to sabotage their own people. That's how much they literally are going to save face. Is this what?
Yeah, the one thing that I know about the government is they can fuck you over, fuck people over, and put them in prison, and they will not apologize.
Oh no! Don't ever expect an apology from idiot. Don't even expect them to take accountability.
No.
That's so funny. People are all the time like, "Oh, I want these people to take accountability," and I'm like, well, you better start wanting something else because accountability is not one of the things that they do.
I'm going to tell you what I used to tell my kids. Put your wants in one hand and your needs in the other and see which
Yep.
one comes out on top.
Yep. My dad always used to say shit in one hand, yeah,
Yeah,
in the
right.
other. Yep. See which one fills up faster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like
Wow.
I can't. I just people have just become so. I mean, we've done this all to ourselves because nobody fights the system. Everybody's just like they've all just become complacent and just okay. We're just gonna go with this authority says. We're just gonna agree with it.
I
And
think I think part of that is fear.
oh yeah, 100%
I think the other part of that is, we're taught as little kids, right, not to question.
authority.
Like Darren said, just be compliant.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem with me.
Me too. And I'm like,
Uh, I left home at 15. I don't like when people think they have authority over me. Nobody controls me. Nobody controls my mind. Even my dad's like, oh, you need to become a Republican. I said, no, I'm an independent thinker. And even he gets mad at me. But the thing is, if there weren't people out there like us confronting the system head on, we wouldn't be as far as we are right now.
nope, we'd be nowhere near it because these I'm a I'm a point placer, so I like to put people in their place. That's that's just that's just my forte. I mean, I if it's wrong, it's wrong. Okay, that's just how I feel. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Okay, that's fine. But if you want to be completely just like these people on like people who think that they don't have like CPS is just because your kids got taken away because you're a bad parent, or and it's like what like and these people who are like I need a lawyer and I'm like no you don't. You need to get some education. That's what you need to get education. Okay, nobody knows your case better than you. Nobody can fight for you better than you. Like what what are you talking about? You don't need a lawyer. You just need to literally get a law dictionary, look up some words that they use, look up your states, look up your codes and statutes, look up whatever you want, and literally you can do it. It's just because they intimidate you and they get you scared. And people are scared of the retaliation. You know what? If you got all the proper paperwork and you got all the evidence, why are you worried? They don't scare me because you know what? That's why that CPS case last week was shut down because I created that paper trail.
Speaking of that, so I was waiting on my customer to show up today.
Oh,
So I'm like, I need to look up this statute. So I'm like, in Virginia, how long does CPS have to investigate? So, first off, in Virginia, I learned this today. They only have 45 days.
hmm
If they want to extend it to 60 days, they are
that's
supposed to send you a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who didn't get a letter? Oh, that would be me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 60 days, they have to send another letter. And there's nothing that they legally can do to you after the 60th day
Nope.
unless it gets extended to 90 days. And that's only because of a police investigation. And guess what happens on the 90th day? The police can't do anything either because the case is closed.
The civil matter.
So I said, oh, so May 21st I said, what was 45 days from May 21st? July 5th. Okay, that was their 45 days. So I said, okay, from May 21st, what was 60 days from that? Oh, that would be July 20th. And what's today's date? Let's see.
The 28th.
Oh, oh, okay. So, like, I can't express this enough to people. When these fools play with your life, if you do not stand up to this broken ass, corrupt business, they're going to fuck you over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I sent my demand letters. My demand letters went to the regional director in Warrington, went to the local director in Winchester, and to that caseworker whose name I can't even pronounce because I think she's African. And they have 5 days to, one, send me a closure letter, and two, let me inspect the files and or send me a copy of the files. So they have 5 days. And after that, I can then take it to court. And
Mm-hmm.
they better comply because I'm not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this case is straight retaliation, and I can prove it. And I'm gonna have to let the circuit court, because I won't be in JD in our court. I know. There's no other way for me not to win. I have, unlike some people, right? Like, I know how to do a timeline, and I've got everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but not. I wanted to talk about that too because, like, Robert said it last night in our book. I got my copy today. In our book, Darren stresses that too, and I'm like, well, I don't
Timeline is essential.
articulate right. And so Becca articulates that stuff better than me. Um, we'll just have her talk about it. But it
Yeah,
is very important.
it is. I mean, and essentially, if you want help on your case, like if you want anybody to help you navigate your case, like that is the one thing. That is literally when everybody contacts me. Do you have a timeline? Like that's generally one of the first questions I ask, because if you don't, you get all this paperwork and it's just all thrown at you, and you're like, well, I mean, I do that with my own paperwork and I know my case, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, wait a minute here. Like, I can't follow this, like, because I think, okay, this is the chronological events. Then I find a random paper and it's like, oh, this was in the middle of everything. And I'm like, crap, so then I have to go back. It's a pain. And I mean, really, it's a pain for anybody to do. And like, people don't, I wish people would just, I mean, literally, who, what, when, where, and why is a you know what I mean? Like time, date, who all was there, who all was involved, what happened, what comments were said, what, just I mean, stupid little dumb stuff. Like, and I mean, and realistically, like like Darren said last night, like, you know, the small shit, like people always say don't sweat the small shit. But the small shit is what snowballs into the big shit.
Right.
Okay.
So,
So,
so when people are doing a timeline, right? Well, I'll tell you how I do my timeline. Like, some of it's in my phone, some of it's in an email. I know where it's all at, right? All I
mhm.
have to do is print it. So when people print it, do they need a notebook when they write notes down? Should they put it in their notepad? I mean, I put mine in my notepad too.
I am
And I'm
horrible
like,
about this. And
okay,
I'm literally like, I have, so like if you want to do a proper timeline and you want to do it like for like like if you were to do it for like exhibits and like an evidence for like an evidence kind of thing, you would use like a 3-ring binder. You would take everything, put the dividers in there, at each piece of evidence. If you have comments about it, I mean, I am so bad about, I will write something down in like I have like notebooks upon notebooks. So I'll like write something down in this one notebook, and then I'll be like, and it won't be the right notebook, and I'll just be like, oh well, I just leave it there, whatever. So then I'll have to go and I'll be doing it, and I'll be looking, and I'll be like, man, I gotta check like 8 different notebooks to make sure I didn't write anything about it in here, because I'm horrible about that. But I mean, if you can get it all together and you just put it tab by tab on each specific, you know, this exhibit, this piece of evidence, this happened, this, or even if you go by days, because I started doing it by days because it was just easier to go, okay, this is what happened this day, this filing happened, and then I'd put like some notes in there myself, hole punch it, or I'd put it like on a piece of paper in a Google Doc or in a Google Doc, like, and then I'll type it out because sometimes I'll just chicken scratch it in the notebook. So I'd just be like, oh, I can't even barely read this, so I'll just put it in, read, copy and paste it into freaking Google Docs and then print it off and have it there with it. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's not that hard, and it is, like I said, it's essential for anybody who is wanting help on their case. I mean, because yes, you can. And another thing too is that what you say happened in your case, realistically, to me, doesn't matter. What is in the record is what matters, because that's what they are legally basing this whole scenario off of, regardless if it happened or not. Because in me, I'm so open-minded, and I'm not, I don't judge people based on their past. That's not something I've ever been, you know, that I've ever done. So I mean, like, I give people the chance going forward to prove if they're going to be like their past, if their history is going to repeat itself, or if you've actually changed. So, that being said, I don't judge people when they give me their timelines. They give me all their papers. I don't even read it half the time. Like, I legit don't. Like, I just don't, because I'm like, people are so worried about their business, and I'm like, I don't care about your business. It's none of my business. But if you want help, then you have to have that whole thing, because you can't have effective help without it. What are you doing, Darren?
Listening to you.
Oh, we was talking about timelines.
Yes, timelines. How important they are.
Yes, they are existential.
Spell that word, Becca.
I'm good. EXOSTEN.
The hospital
I
just
don't
got the
fucking
light
know.
on.
So how do we get videos into court? I know that you can download them on like a SD card, or I
A
don't know about
USB
the
drive.
other thing. Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
You might be able to do it like on a DVD drive. I
Yeah, I'm
know
about
that,
to wait
like, when
1
they
second.
give you
I
like the
text Grace
audio
this lazy in my
recordings
podcast.
from like the court hearings, they're
Yeah,
usually
go
on
ahead.
like a DVD,
Thank you.
so they may accept that.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to find out, because now that recordings are allowed, and
I guess it's
actually,
public.
I just saw a statute in Virginia today that says yes, you can record CPS, and I pulled up the statute and everything. So if you're in Virginia, don't let CPS tell you you can't record them. Tell them to pull up the statute that says you can't, because I promise you, they're gonna find the statute that says you can.
Yeah, you should always put your videos on those little SD cards, little thumb drives and everything, and bring them into the courts. Use those. Don't forget that that's a weapon, and that's a tool for you to get the judge's videos, of all the
You have to
stuff that you
submit them into
recorded.
evidence.
Right, exactly. Because people are like, how am I going to get my thumb? Am I going to get my laptop in there or whatever? You don't bring the whole laptop. We'll just put it on a little thumb drive and bring it. Let them use that as evidence.
Well, unfortunately, in my situation, I would have to take my whole damn laptop, and they would just have to get over it.
Tiffany would have to drive in a whole Commodore 64 car.
And I mean, essentially, they have, well, I mean, and here's the thing too, is that sometimes with evidence, if you don't give the other party privy, if they're not privy to what is on that thumb drive, they will object.
Of course, it's evidence against them. Why wouldn't they?
And so then you have to be prepared for that. It's all about preparing people for what could happen.
Right. And the
Here
other thing with that,
again, this is not a criminal procedure. So technically, you don't have to share your evidence with anybody.
I was just going to ask about that. What is I've never even really looked into this about, you're kicking me out of the hospital. I never really looked into what are the procedures and rules of evidence in the family court case.
So they have discretion. I know in my state, they have discretion on discovery. So, like, on evidence. So they don't have to give you evidence. They don't have to, like, do any of that.
What do you mean?
They don't have to give you, like, they don't have to show you the evidence before they provide it to the court in civil.
They've got to have. Well, how do you form a defense on that then?
The judge is it's based on the judge's it's at the judge's discretion to allow them to do the evidence.
This is what it says in Virginia. You are not legally required to hand over your personal evidence to Child Protective Services outside of a formal court discovery.
So Virginia does have discovery.
Oh, yeah, we have discovery. But here's the thing about discoveries. Don't nobody want to answer them.
Yeah. Well, of course not. What is it?
Yeah.
You're not
No one
bad,
wants
man.
to answer them. But they have. What's the penalties if you do not?
Contempt of court. You can't do anything to you. Put you in jail.
You'll
Give you
have
an
to
8-hour shift in the
get
cell.
discovery from CPS.
Yeah.
In Virginia, it says failing to answer legal discovery requests in Child Protective Services or court case can lead to severe penalties, including motion to compel, court sanctions, or default ruling.
The default ruling.
Default ruling, yes, in Virginia.
Wow. So that can sway your case in Virginia.
It says the judge default judgment. The judge may rule completely in favor of CPS or the agency.
So mine, it says Ohio Juvenile Rule 24. Okay, it says in Ohio, discovery in abuse, neglect, or dependency cases is governed primarily by Ohio Juvenile Rule 24, not the civil rules, although juvenile courts may look to the civil rules where the juvenile rules are silent and consistent with juvenile practice. Juvenile Rule 24 was substantially expanded and now provides for mandatory disclosure upon written request. Right to discovery. If you are a party, parent, child, through counsel, guardian, or agency, you have the right to request discovery from the other parties. Upon written request, that responding party must promptly produce, to the extent the material is not privileged or otherwise protected by law, all the, audio recordings, name, address, phone numbers, subject matter, written statements, recorded statements, audio recordings, videos, photographs, physical evidence, scientific reports, medical reports, expert reports, documents intended to support claims of defense, criminal records of witnesses where required, exculpatory information, or reports or examinations and tests. Children's Services must produce its file with exceptions. Generally, the agency cannot simply provide the complaint and expect that to satisfy discovery. You may request entire investigative files subject to statutory redactions, intake reports, safety assessments, risk assessments, family assessments, case notes, SACWIS records, photographs, videos, audio interviews, police reports in the agency's possession, medical records relied upon, school records relied upon, drug test results, chain of custody documentation, witness statements, emails between workers, text messages relating to the investigation, internal referrals, and supervisory reviews. Some material may be withheld because of privilege, work product protection, confidentiality statutes. High law protects certain information, mandatory reporters. Oh, duh. Well, we already know that. Depositions. Unlike ordinary civil litigation, depositions are not automatically available in juvenile dependency proceedings. The court generally must authorize it or have another rule to permit it. Expert witness. If Children's Services intend to present psychologists, psychiatrists, physician, forensic, you may request curriculum. I don't even know what that word is. Qualifications, written reports, opinions, basis of opinions, test results relied upon, notes were discoverable. These materials fall under expert discovery under Rule 24. Discovery is ongoing. If the agency later receives new reports, new witness statements, additional drug screens, updated case notes, and supplemental police reports, it has a continuing duty to supplement prior discovery responses. If a party fails to produce discovery, Jesus Christ, fails to produce discovery, if a party may impose ordering disclosure, granting a continuance, excluding evidence, prohibiting a witness from testifying, or entering another appropriate orders under the circumstance. If an agency produces evidence late disclosure can raise due process concerns, especially if it prejudices your ability to prepare for trial. Courts may exclude evidence, continue the hearing, order relief depending on circumstances. Due process and parental rights proceedings require fundamentally fair procedures as required by U.S. Supreme Court in Santosky versus Kramer.
Barkley, Montana.
Comprehensive will request immediately after being served with the complaint. I'm
Don't reverse. Everybody look at your own statutes in your state.
But like, when I had that issue with Mason at the hospital and stuff, like that stuff right there, like because I am literally I'm suing that hospital. Because just like in like Alicia's case. Well, I did send my intent to sue to the hospital because 3 times you should not have told these people 3 different times, you are the reason why CPS was at my house because of your information, your false information. Like you literally can't sit here and just be like, oh well, we're gonna give this information to to the counselors, but here we go, and um we're gonna give this false information to the counselors, but we don't expect anything to happen. Like they knew that they're mandated reporters. These are mandated reporters. Like, and you
Who's
literally
not a mandated reporter now? The list is shorter.
mm, who's on the mandated report list then? Because as far as I
No,
know,
everybody's a goddamn mandated reporter now.
yeah, even Tiff.
Yep, Tiff's even one. That's right.
I had to say that because you hate it. I am not a mandated reporter. But I mean, they're all mandated reporters realistically, and here we are, and I'm
So
like, wait a
watch
minute,
out.
here you.
Watch out if Tiff's around.
Oh, please.
I mean, here we are, and I'm like, wait a minute here. So I literally was doing my due diligence. I was like, nope. I was like, I am going to create a paper trail, and I told them in this letter, I'm like, this is not about just me. I was like, do you know how many parents this happens to? I was like, and kids are taken because of the wrong information going into the wrong hands. I was like, this is not a one-off. This is something that happens every day. May not be in your hospital, but it happens a lot and it happens way too often. And I'm waiting to hear back from the what is it? The risk management people. Because I'm not going
Now,
to
do
give
you
up.
guys use the ADA? Do you use the ADA for them for that stuff also?
I
Designated
mean,
responsible employee.
I guess I could, but I didn't just because they don't treat the ADA like it matters,
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode in its own right there.
right? I mean, they don't. They literally just think that, oh, well, we're supposed to have one, but that's just like these agencies that literally exist on paper, but they don't exist in real life. These foster group homes, these, like, that's just crazy. Like,
Do you know what group is taking over all of these fostering group homes that are the secret weapon of CPS right now?
no.
Tell him, Tiff.
Ann E. Casey.
Oh, the Casey Foundation out of Illinois? Yeah.
Out of everywhere.
Yeah, well, their main base is Illinois. I do know that. I looked them up. I investigated them.
Yeah, what did you find about them?
I put their asses on notice that their policies and procedures and their practices were taking kids from innocent parents, and there was I put their ass on notice. Don't think I didn't, because I did. I didn't get a response, but that's okay.
Yeah, because now they've infiltrated every aspect of CPS all across the country.
Hmm. That doesn't surprise me, not even one bit. I
So
mean,
everyone out there that's calling them up looking for help with your kids, stop.
yeah, because they don't help. I mean, regardless, like Tiff said, there's those one-off cases where they do, and they do what they're supposed to, and they do the right thing. But I think that they've gotten people so terrified now that even if they tried to make amends with the population and tried to do the right thing, I don't think that it's gonna change how people really feel anymore.
Their actions are not that of trying to make amends at all. They're trying to bank off of all of this. They're banking off of the kids being taken and put into the homes, and now they've expanded into the kinship programs, and they're now weaponizing, I guess you would even say, the kinship programs to make them forcibly go to a foster
Foster
home.
care.
Yep.
Yeah, because no other state besides Ohio uses kidship.
Well,
Well, every
Virginia
state
does.
uses it.
They don't spend money on it except for Ohio. We are the
Oh yeah,
only state. Yeah, we're the
there.
only state that spends it on it.
Yeah, that you're right because Virginia, um, they do not get federal funds for kinship,
Nope.
but they said,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't get federal funds. They
not for
get federal
kinship.
funds. Yeah, we
No.
just read it. We just read in your
Well,
document
wait
that
a
they get
minute.
it.
Now we will.
But you still won't unless you go to become a fostering home. And it's a requirement. They did that in the state of Maine, where even kinship programs now are required to be a registered foster home
Mm-hmm.
opposed to a kinship home.
I'm not doing that. They can kiss my ass. They can't make me contract with anybody.
Mm-mm. No. I mean, essentially, you just won't get the funding, right?
Having a good time.
Right? I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, it's kind of thing, same thing with child support. Like, wait a minute here. Like, my baby dad, when he died, he was $30,000 in debt to me. And like, do you think that I got any? No. They're like, oh, well, he doesn't have an estate. He don't have. No, he was broke. He don't have
So
shit.
Social Security doesn't pick up rearages and child support
Nope.
when you get survivor benefits? That's bullshit.
Nope.
Wow.
Because they sure as hell would take that money from him if they TPR'd your kids. They sure as hell
Yep.
would be taking that money from him. So why wouldn't they take that money and do that themselves to do that? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
absolutely asinine.
Yeah. And I was even more livid when they started giving a fourth child that he had nothing to do with a cut of my kids' benefits, because they cut a quarter of it off and was like, oh, well, we're just gonna go ahead and give her 500 and some dollars a month. And I'm like, well, wait. I'm like, he literally gave up. He wasn't ordered to pay child support on her. He was actually overpaid her when child support was terminated. And they were like, oh, well, by the law, she's considered his child. What Just because there's a birth certificate does not mean that that's his legal child. If he had nothing to do with this child her whole life, per her mother's request, then,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
oh, I'm
I
fighting it.
know
Trust me.
for yeah, right. I know for a fact that when my friend died, now he's white. His wife was white, and they had a black kid, which wasn't his. Uh, but he signed the birth certificate, and when they brought it
I
to
think
the Social Security people and said, "Hey, this child is not biologically his," you know what they told the relatives that turned her in? He's on the birth certificate. He is legally her father. She's entitled to those benefits.
And that's the thing, is that they're not even following the law, because the law states their own law, their own code, their own policy states that it is to be determined by a proof of paternity. Okay? Not a proof of paternity is
Back
totally
up.
different than a birth certificate. Totally different. What?
Becca.
Trust me, I know. I went down this rabbit hole.
No, I just have one question for you.
Oh, what's that?
What agency do you know that actually follows laws, practices, and procedures? Exactly.
The only one I know that doesn't discriminate is CPS. Okay, that's the only one I know that doesn't discriminate. That's the only one. But that's a whole nother.
Which is why the ADA probably just is ineffective because they don't discriminate.
That's true. See why we figuring it out. We're just sitting here figuring it out. I mean, that would make sense why the ADA wouldn't apply. Darren's right. Don't get my brain working. It'll start spinning and I'll start going down another rabbit hole of why the ADA does not work in child protective services.
For all of you that are experiencing slower chat GPT things tonight, it's because Becca's brain's cranking right now and she's just blowing chat GPT through the roof trying to figure this out.
All right, time to
Listen.
go. I got to put my minions to bed.
Okie dokie. Yep. You taking us out of here, Darren?
Yeah, I'll take us out of here.
Okay.
Let's see. So tomorrow night, let's see if we can't get Daniel back here. Brabson, if you're watching, please, if you could reach out to him, that would be great. I put some questions up on the Tiff and Punisher Facebook. You guys check that out. And if you guys aren't following us, make sure that you do. Go there and look us up. And now we must be legit because we have a Facebook. So make sure you guys go there, check it out. Don't forget the reunificationcentral.com. You know that only 5 people, and that's including me, have signed up for that so far.
So 4.
I got to sign up for it, but I got to get on my laptop.
Well, you don't have any missing kids.
Well, that's true.
Somebody may be missing Tiffany, okay?
No, they're not. No, trust me. And if they are, I don't want to be found.
You never know, Tiff. You never know. I'm trying to take us out of here. And I got it right here. Come on. Yep, I have it. There we go. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Thoughts are gone, thoughts don't care. Ghosts in my head, thoughts that tear. F941239 branded on my file before I was 5 years clear. They all said the same shit. Better not tell, kid, it'll get way worse in here. Even the real kids whispering threats while their parents steer. Born in a folder, no crib, just a case number and a hearing date. Pills crushed in my juice, whispered waves, turning toddlers into a court case. F943 anxiety, F90 poesy, separation ink they used to label me. Now the same codes turned into calibers, letters load the AR-15. 5156 for the panic attacks, 9 for the snakes, 223 for the mess they made. Leave me alone. This is perfect Christian home. Still feel your husband's hands on my neck. Leave me alone. Night shift worker, keys rattling while you're proud to haul. Leave me alone. Caseworker with the crocodile tears. You got paid while I starved through it all.
Hey, Rylan, I'm going to be around when I get home. I'll hit you up.
Real level 2, bounce like trash. Learning roles in every house they make you feel. Level 3 chameleon bag, never unpacked. Visible just enough to eat. Level gray master read a lie in the blink. Route around rules in the street. Level 5 invisible state on ghost file too thick for any worker to read. Sleeping fragments, exit pop 6, F93 to a full auto switch, F94 to reactive, that's why the AR twitch. 9 millis for the snakes that smile in your face, 223s for the nights they said this hurts me more, while they finish the chase. Every cold day roll, every caliber, every lobby came around, every better not tell turned into a reason. We outside right now, seen kids get walked out the back at 3 a.m. Staff pockets fat, no sound. One phone call, file closed, another invisible. Never found. They pray we don't de-lock forever or read the barrel in despair. But the ones who survive remember every smell, every room, every thoughts are gone, thoughts aren't care. Ghost in my head, thoughts that tear. Way the invisible! Face down, fully loaded. No fear, strapped heavy, heart on zero. Just a pulse and a plan. Right from wrong is all we know. And wrong finna meet the whole fam. Pulling up quiet, windows down. 30 round lullaby. Invoice for every tear. Every touch, every read better not tell. This is the correction. Pred's gone dead.
They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet. They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are gonna show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped. And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
The courts will not disgrace the family. CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, one tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher. I'm the cape in the shadows, the skull in the night, the binder full of secrets, the weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test, gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room. CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, the children never leave again. Families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher.
This ain't revenge. This is reunification. This ain't rage. This is resurrection. Open the app. Step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher, the app you need when they took your kid. CPS Punisher, the truth they hid, now the truth gets there.
CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete. Family restored.